Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thank you for dropping by Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. I know it's been about a minute, but I hope everyone is doing well, and I want to thank you for continuing to support this channel. Real quick, before I get into the subject matter of this video, I wanted to talk about what's going on right now with YouTube and COPPA and the FTC. I will put links down below to some videos that I think are very helpful for some content creators that are really stressed out now about these new rules and guidelines that are going to be going into effect at the beginning of 2020, January 1st, that your content must be marked as either for children or for adults. There's no middle ground. There seems to be some shady things that are going on. I've just been erring on the side of caution with regards to this channel. I've had my YouTube channel for nearly 10 years now. I just hit my 9th year back in September. My channel has mostly been for entertainment and fun. It's just an outlet for me to talk about the horror genre and things that I like, collectibles, things like that. I've never aimed this for children. If children happen to watch it though, I have no control over that. But from my understanding, in order to have a YouTube account, you need to be a certain age. So like I said, it all comes down to parenting. I don't have kids. I do swear sometimes in my videos, and I talk about adult subject matter because a lot of stuff that I talk about is for adult collectors or adult fans of the horror genre. I did recently do a couple of videos where I talked about family-friendly horror movies for Halloween, but those videos were aimed at parents. They were aimed at parents that I was offering some suggestions if parents are... I have a lot of friends that have kids, and I mentioned that in the videos, and they never know what to show their kids, what's too extreme, what's something that's going to freak their kids out. So I offered a couple of suggestions that could ease their kids into becoming fans of the genre, or that if they're already fans, something that could ease them into getting used to monsters and scary situations. So like I said, that is all I'm going to really say about COPPA. I am erring on the side of caution. I do think my channel will be fine. I've looked at the demographics and the, the metrics for my channel. There's no one under the age of like 18 that watches my content based on the metrics for the last 2 years. I have marked all my channel, all my videos as adults only because there's no other option. I have set up a new Vimeo account just in case I'm not really liking where things are going, and I will be moving the channel over there. Also, I do still do IGTV stuff. Most of the stuff that I air here I put there, and I do post on a handful of Facebook horror groups as well. So the Horror Zone's not going anywhere. It might change platforms. Let's see how it goes. I haven't been really happy with how YouTube treats independent and smaller YouTubers, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. I feel like they're more about corporations now, and that's why you're seeing celebrities doing YouTube channels. When I started on YouTube, it was about the individuals. It was about people, like-minded people like me, like the guy that inspired me to do this channel, CCG1171, my buddy Chris, who was a fan of horror collectibles and the horror genre. And I just thought he was awesome, and I loved his collection, and it just inspired me to do my own thing. I didn't try to copy what he was doing, but I liked a lot of the same things. We became friends. We're still friends, even though he doesn't do YouTube content anymore. But I miss those days because I want to keep this going, but I'm not looking to make any money. I even canceled my Patreon account a long time ago. It's not me. I've gotten offers over the years to have sponsorships and things like that, but I never wanted to do it because it came down to the fact that I do this as a hobby. This is not how I earn a living. This is just for fun, and I want to keep it fun. And that's all I'm going to say about it right now. But I'm talking to you guys, the horror content creators. I think we're okay. I really do, because we focus on a scary subject matter, and that's not a lot of draw for kids. A lot of kids don't want horror stuff. But I do talk about toys and pop figures and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm erring on the side of caution. Marked all my videos as for adults. And we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks. But I will do updates if I think that I'm going to be switching platforms. So, that's being said, let's talk about Dr. Sleep. Horror Zone. So, Dr. Sleep. This is the adaptation of Stephen King's 2013 novel, which is a sequel to his book, The Shining. I have The Shining. I have many copies of The Shining, but it's in an area that I just didn't want to disturb. But I've talked about the Shining films before. I'm a fan of both of them. I know that's kind of, a lot of people hate the 1997 miniseries by Mick Garris, but I actually enjoy it. I don't think it's perfect, and it's got some issues. But, of course, Stanley Kubrick's 1981 masterpiece is one of my favorite horror films of all time. But I do have both films. Back in 2012, I did a video talking about both of these films. For some reason, they became two of my highest rated videos, especially the one talking about the 1997 miniseries. Now, I remember when this aired, I was in college, I was 23, I was working at a restaurant, and I just remember that night I went home to watch it. I had my pizza, and I was just excited to see what this adaptation was going to be like, and I had just finished reading Stephen King's novel. So I appreciate both. I think that the Kubrick film is 1,000 times more impactful. He, of course, had an R rating. He had a stellar cast of Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Scatman Crothers, Danny Lloyd. Amazing visuals, amazing cinematography, amazing Steadicam shots, very creepy atmosphere. I love the film. I've watched it hundreds of times. It's one of my favorite films of all time. And while the 1997 miniseries didn't have that impact on me, I appreciated it because they shot it in the location where Stephen King got the inspiration to write the novel. They also, brought in, the elements of the book that were left out of Kubrick's film. Kubrick didn't believe in the afterlife, so a lot of that focus was taken out of his movie, and they were able to put that back into it in the miniseries. And I think Steven Weber and Rebecca De Mornay were very good in their roles. I thought Van Peebles did a good job. Cortland Mead, he's okay. He was just a different Danny. I don't think he had the intensity of Danny Lloyd, and that's a hard thing to follow because Danny Lloyd's performance was so iconic. What that little boy was able to do in that movie, and being as young as he was, and Kubrick specifically keeping from him the fact that they were shooting a horror film, is just amazing, the performance they were able to get out of that little kid. So I was curious how they were going to do this, because Stephen King has made it known for nearly 4 decades now that he is not a fan of Kubrick's film. So how were they going to do this? How were they going to make this film, Dr. Sleep, appeal to both fans of King's novel and fans of the Kubrick film? Bring in Mike Flanagan, who I think is one of the most underrated and most amazing horror film directors and writers in today's cinema. He's done films like Oculus. He did the sequel to Ouija, which is 1,000 times better than Ouija. He's also done Hush. He did the adaptation of Gerald's Game, another fantastic Stephen King novel, and he's done Haunting of Hill House, which I think was a fantastic miniseries, and I'm looking forward to the next season. And I've also heard a rumor, just heard it today, I don't know if it's true, that he has put up an idea for a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, now that the Wes Craven estate has the rights to that franchise again. So, talking about Dr. Sleep. So, the premise for Dr. Sleep, it's years following the events of The Shining. You have a now adult Danny Torrance who must protect a young girl with similar powers as he does from a cult known as the True Knot, led by Rose the Hat, who prey on children with powers remain immortal. With the cast, you have Ewan McGregor as Danny Torrance, you have Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat, you have Kylie Curran as Abra Stone, you have Cliff Curtis as Billy Freeman, you have Zan McLaren as Crow Daddy, Emily Allen Lind as Snakebite Andy. Screenplay and direction was done by Mike Flanagan. I absolutely fucking love Dr. Sleep. It really was a film that I didn't know how they were going to pull it off. I just remember seeing the trailers for it and getting goosebumps. The fact that they were using similar shots and music from The Shining, I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I knew it was going to be in good hands because, like I said, I have never been disappointed in anything Mike Flanagan has done. It's not a film that's just focused on fan service. It's actually telling a very compelling story about what Danny Torrance would have gone through in his life after those events. And the cast that they got in this film is just amazing. Ewan McGregor is such an underappreciated actor. I absolutely love everything that he's been in. I've been a fan of the guy since seeing Trainspotting back in the 90s with my friends. But yeah, he is amazing as the adult Danny Torrance. You really see what this ability has done to him over the years and how some of the sins of his father have befell upon him as well. You see how he handles them much differently than his father did. But I just love seeing the character grow over the course of the film's duration. Also, cannot say enough great things about Rebecca Ferguson, who I've always appreciated from Mission Impossible films that she's played in, but I think Rose the Hat is one of the best on-screen villains I've ever seen, and the True Knot, those characters are so well fleshed out. You understand where they're coming from. You have a real insight into what makes these antagonists tick. It's not just about bad people. You really see why they do what they do, and they are truly chilling and so well drawn in this film. Also, Kylie Curran as Abra is amazing. One of the best child actors I've ever seen. She is so natural, and her dialogue scenes with Ewan McGregor, those scenes are so great, and I love the character interactions. Just amazing child actor. Cannot wait to see more from her. The film is just a masterpiece. Is it as scary as The Shining? I wouldn't say so, but there are some scenes in this film that I think in any other director's hands they would have been tamed. I think they would have been toned down. There are some scenes in this film that literally gave me chills. They affected me. I'm still freaked out by them, and a guy that sees a lot of horror movies like me, that's really tough to do. The way the story played out, the fact that we do see the Overlook Hotel again, that is just amazing. But that is in the third act. The first two acts are around Danny, his demons, and how he uses his gift to help others. And you see how the True Knot comes into play, and what ties him and Abra together is just amazing. And it was just so well done. It was so well directed and so well acted. I'm very disappointed that this film was released in November. It breaks my heart that something this great is not doing well at the box office and is already out of the top 10 as of today, which is just, it's a travesty in my opinion. There's so many shitty movies out there that do so much business, and you watch them and you're just like, how in the hell did this fucking movie make this much money? And something as great as this gets buried under more crappy movies that just come out every week. Part of me thinks that maybe people just don't like good movies anymore, or people don't know how to appreciate good acting anymore. It's all got to be about special effects and action, and there's a lot of moments in this film that's just dialogue driven, and I love films like that. So again, Dr. Sleep is a masterpiece, my favorite film of 2019. Easily, it is getting 5 skulls. So thank you so much everyone for dropping by the Horror Zone. If you guys have seen Dr. Sleep and you agree with my thoughts on the film, please leave your comments down below. Also, if you didn't like the film, leave your comments down below and let me know why. I think this film was amazing. It was beautiful, well directed, well acted, well written, amazing performances, amazing story. I cannot wait to read this novel. I'm so disappointed I haven't read it yet, but I have most of Stephen King's books and I haven't read them all. But I'm so glad that we got a new Stephen King story adapted for the big screen. It disappoints me that it didn't do better, but again, I think it will over time. I think word of mouth will help make this film more popular than it was when it was released. I also think it was a very bad idea to release it in November after Halloween. I think if it would have came out in September or October, I think it would have done a lot better. Hopefully, word of mouth will propel it and it will become the cult classic I think it is destined to be. So again, thank you so much for dropping by the Horror Zone. For the stuff that I talked about earlier with regarding Kappa, I will put those links down below. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Thank everyone for taking this time to drop by the Horror Zone. It really means a lot to me that people are supporting what I do here. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. I upload videos at least once or twice a week. It would really mean a lot if people would spread the word about this channel. This is a passion of mine. I love the horror genre, and I'm really happy to share my love of it with all of you. So thanks so much again for checking it out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.